hear more about how you're supporting women through, pregnancy, and how you supported yourself and your body and what you're really lit up about. I know it's in the realm of children's health, and I'm all for that myself. I'm not a mom, but I'm on this mission, and I have that feminine essence, and I know that one day I'd love to be a mother, and so yeah, just preparing my body now. I know how important it is to be preparing our bodies way before we're even at that time of, bringing life into this world.
Exactly. So that's where it starts. And really, I help other women by sharing my story. And not even that, other families, other men, dads, like it takes two to tango, right?
Yeah.
So, like you just said, going way back before I even knew I would be conceiving, that's when my journey started. And it was so heart led. Like I knew I wanted children, but at the state of my health at the time, I was dealing with a handful of chronic illnesses, reproductive, like ovarian cysts included. So the last thing I wanted to do was to like reproduce that,
Right.
and it caused so much pain and suffering in my own life. And it's like, as much as I want to be a mom, like I will sacrifice that desire so that I don't pass these these genes along.
Right.
And then that's when I learned about regenerative health through a dear friend slash angel. And she told me, hey, it's not too late. You can turn off those genes, basically, that are causing this illness. You can clear up this inflammation and this acidity that's in your body so that you can not only feel better in your own body, but then therefore reproduce healthy children. And thank goodness she was right. And thank goodness I felt like I could do it and that I went for it, because here I am, like 4 years, none of those chronic illnesses exist, or
Amazing.
at least are showing themselves. And um, working about 6 years with my body, getting to that root level. Um, I don't feel like they're even in my body now. I feel like those genes are turned off and they didn't get passed on to my children. My children have showed zero illnesses of any sort. And by their age, I was already showing a handful of illnesses.
Wow.
So it goes to show, like, my mom, she's a nurse. She's very aware of health, but she was doing what she knew to do in the late 80s, early 90s. And she's like, we thought canned food and these like microwave meals were the best thing ever. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, I totally get it. And we all just have to learn from mistakes. And, I thanked her the other day too. I was like, hey, mom, I wouldn't have this story to help other people if you didn't feed me that way. And if I didn't go through this journey.
Yeah.
So it's all just so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
we're in a time where all of this information is coming to be known again, and it's a resurgence too of this ancient wisdom of ways that we used to live, with the rhythm of nature. And so yeah, it's a beautiful time to rediscover what it means to be healthy, and to rediscover our power, and to know that like we are capable of healing and coming back into balance again. We just got to get in right relation with our earth, with our food, with community,
Mhm.
and be connecting with people that give you that little nugget of hope,
Yeah.
right? That like you can heal, you can do this. Like we are just incredible beings, like that have these superpowers of self-healing, but we just need to be reminded of that, right? And we live in
Exactly.
such a disempowering time where you go to your doctor and they're just, leaving you feeling just completely helpless and hopeless, and that's the problem. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
The
it's
empowerment piece, for sure. And that's really the basis I like coach on, is like, well, what is your body asking for?
right.
My pregnancies and births, that's how they were. I leaned into a woman who helped me through it, and she was like, anything I asked her, she would ask me back, like, what do you feel?
Right.
And that was just the most empowering thing and taught me so much. And um, yeah, I'm just so grateful that I have this experience again to help other people tune into their bodies. And so, like, the basis of it is these organic superfoods that I know me and you have both been consuming. and we're feeling the difference with. And I started my regenerative health journey 3 years before I found the superfoods.
Okay.
And I showed a lot of improvement, but I still went to the ER one time with a kidney infection. And I was
Right.
like, okay, I feel like I've plateaued with what I'm doing here. What's missing? And so what I've learned through these organic superfoods is the soil health of what our food is coming from. And I truly believe that is what is going to change the world,
Yeah.
the nation, especially being one of the sickest nations here on the planet. It's like, let's go back to the soil and see what type of biodiversity that we're actually consuming when we eat this carrot or broccoli. Um, Rather it being depleted like 99% of our commercial soils out there. So I think that's really even organic soils,
Right.
right?
They're still allowed to use
Are
chemicals.
still yeah, it's still contaminated. There's still all these like, yeah, slip holes through that. So um really I just give so much thanks to the organic superfoods that yeah, have really supported me to get to this level of health, to have these independent pregnancies and give birth in my house to two beautiful, healthy children that are
Hmm.
now consuming superfoods.
Right.
And this morning it was so cute. I was wearing my company shirt for bedtime, and my son woke up this morning. He points at the logo, and he goes, "That's my superfoods."
You're like,
Like,
yes.
yes, high five. So
That's it.
cute.
Like, I love that. I love like seeing the children starting young. Like, I have a good friend who's on my team too, and she has a daughter who's 6, and she like loves this stuff, and we like do the super cereal solution, that's like infusing it into the milk and creating all these fun things in the kitchen, and like then they start to want that. It's like it tastes so good, and the ways that we can get creative with our kids and like have fun in the kitchen with them too, it's amazing. Like starting them young is so, so, so important. So I'm like so grateful to know that I have these allies to prepare my body and for my children too. Like I'm like, I can't wait to be a mom, literally just to make them the most amazing food on the planet. And other kids being like, I want to go over to Brooke's house and like she makes such good food, and it's all like
Yes.
high vibe, super healthy, but also really indulgent food, because it's real and their bodies can feel that. Like the little kids, like when I do markets or I'm vending, these little babies will have sips of the power shake and be like wanting more of it. And I'm like, yo, to their moms, I'm like, look at, like they're literally craving this. Their bodies know, they're so intelligent. And when they have real food, it's like we got to look at the kids and be like, we got to trust them because they're so tapped into their intuition and their genius, right? They know what they need, they know what they want, and we got to listen, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and I did want to touch on like a comment that I get often is, well, aren't you gonna have they're gonna like be in the real world one day, right? They're gonna have to know what a cheeseburger is. I'm like, why? And yeah, maybe, but like that didn't serve me. Why would I like my number one goal as a parent is to like nourish and protect them,
Yeah.
at least at a young age, and to teach them, right,
Yeah.
the wisdom of their bodies. And that's exactly what I feel like me and my partner are doing, but then what these superfoods are also doing in their body is it's alkalizing, it's balancing, harmonizing all of their systems to where they know what they need.
Right.
And I've tested them. I'm like, yeah, you can have a piece of cheese and they used to, like
Right.
I've been curious lately since they've gotten curious in social settings. I'm like, yeah, you taste it. And
See how it
no, they don't want it.
feels. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Run the experiment for yourself. And that's the thing. Once you've trained your palate in such a sophisticated way, anything that's not in alignment with that frequency of food is going to feel like poison in the
Yeah.
body, like that's just how it works. And that's such a blessing, is like we get to purify our bodies to a level that like anything else that's not in alignment, it's not serving us. We don't even need it. There's no cravings, there's no desire for it. It's just like, nope, next. Like Give me something real. Give me something good and nourishing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's
and
the
the
true
education.
candy, right? That's the true, like, I mean, what we have already is faster than fast food,
Right.
anyways. So, like, the convenience argument is out the door.
The
Um,
convenience, the price, like the impact that it has on your body and your life and your children and your family, and it just like ripples into every aspect. Like it's been the catalyst to so much in my life just beyond my own personal healing journey, but like just being more of a creative individual and like having so many ideas and excitements and dreams, like it literally is nourishing every part of my life. And I just yeah, I it's really been probably the biggest blessing in my life. And I just, yeah, I'm in it for life. I'm here for it. I'm here for the healing of humanity and the remembering of who we are at the cellular level. Like that's what it's really about, you know.
Yes, and I'm so grateful that you have found this like before conception and you're able to clean your body. And I did want to mention for those watching, like it's never too late, right? Like even if your children are already born or have these habits or whatever, I've seen so many children change their habits with this level of nutrition once it enters their body. And neurologically too, like, right, we're seeing so much neural dis-ease in our children right
Yeah,
now. And I feel like, of course, the gut, the gut sending information to the brain, and with all of the chemicals and processed food where that is normalized, that's getting just all completely arrayed. It's
yeah,
getting askewed and can't communicate. So, like, again, I feel like the soil, the gut, detoxing glyphosate, which we have the only certified product to do that, that's huge in itself. And then
huge.
adding these regenerative nutrients to that's like it's just something else that like I've been in this for 5 years and I still get blown away when
Yeah,
I talk about it. Yeah.
yeah. It's next level, and every single person that's experienced it agrees with that. It's not just some supplement. It's not just some powder. Like that's where the education really comes in, because this isn't lab synthesized, isolated, reductionist way of, trying to provide your body with these micronutrients that are extracted from the whole plant.
Right.
Like that is
Whole
not,
food.
that's not the way nature intended it. This is the whole entire plant, every compound, every cofactor, enzyme, everything that's still involved, like that is the
Chills.
magic. and
Yeah.
and and that's the way it needs to be. And like of course the solution is to regenerate this planet, regenerate the soil, and we get to do that. We get to be part of that mission, by voting with our, say we vote with our mouths. It's like, how are we voting? By what we're like eating. And that's something we get to support, a company and a living food movement that is supporting regenerative practices to help heal the soil. And then we get to be advocates, we get to be messengers, we get to be the ones educating people. So then they start to have the awareness and consciousness around what is actually going on with our food system, and then have this desire to be like, I want to be part of this mission. Like, this is super important. I have kids, I have a family. Like, we have 50, 60 like cycles of soil left if we continue on this chemical farming path. That's my lifetime.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
And our children, like, wow, what they're gonna see.
right.
So yeah, it truly is. It's a legacy building company, and I saw your video that you posted a little while ago, and you're like, we're not going anywhere. We're only getting bigger because it's becoming more well known that this is
Yeah.
the solution for our planet, for our health, for our families. So
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful. And it goes beyond the products too, like what we're saying. It goes to advocating for regenerative farms who are growing other food. And, it's just like this big spread of community.
It's
So,
a ripple.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting a question. Can you share what products you recommend? I, I'm happy to jump on
Yeah.
that.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I usually recommend people the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. There's each package lasts 30 days, and our biggest recommendation would be to do it for 90 days because, of course, the state of our body, how we got here, was not overnight. So, of course, it's going to take some time to get out as well. So yeah, in that 90 day, that's when people really start to see that shift in lifestyle changes when they start to crave. It could take a lot shorter than that, but that's just like the window that people most see these big changes. Like it takes 90 days to make to change a habit, right? So, and that's the ULT, and that's the power shake, what we're talking a lot about here. And those are the nourishing greens. It's the biomedic, which is detoxing glyphosate. It's the amino acids, super amino 23s. It's 99% absorbable aminos that are not taxing on the kidneys or any of our eliminating organs, which is incredible. And then the apothecary is our sleep aid, anti-aging. It's like super high in antioxidants, and it is the only natural occurring melatonin. So it's actually going to help our melatonin, our natural production, not synthetic melatonin. That's going to take away from that empowerment
Yep.
of our pineal gland creating its own. So, and then there's the parasite cleanse too. I haven't been on that for, gosh, 4 or 5 years now because I've been pregnant and breastfeeding.
Yeah, that's a good thing to
But
know for
yeah,
mamas
yeah.
that
And if
are.
moms are watching this, there's an alternative to that. You can get the chlorella instead, which is perfect for breastfeeding and pregnancy because what the chlorella is going to do is really, it's going to like amp up your blood count, which we double our blood production during pregnancy, right? So those have been my staples the last 5 years. And then we have, I call it an apothecary, our superfood shops online. It's like 75 products or more that you can individualize your health goals with. Pineal gland is one of my favorites right now to talk about. I've been diving into Joe Dispenza and
Yeah.
like, whoa, blasted off with all of his information with pineal gland. I'm like, wow, we have such a potent product to go in there,
Yep.
decalcify it. I did 90 days of that. And I was just like, I didn't even know how to articulate it. It was next level of, yeah, I just don't even know.
Yeah.
Um, I was just clear, just so clear and so connected. And that intuitive wisdom was even stronger. So that's just one I'm gonna put out there, but there's just
There's
so,
so many.
so
Like, it's like, what do you do on the daily? I'm like, if I could, I would have the entire shop constantly.
that's my goal.
But yeah, exactly. Like the ultimate lifestyle transformation is definitely the best way to start out. And then I've been on those main products pretty much ever since. And then I really love adding in the kamut and the green spectrum every morning for my like that's how I start my day is taking the kamut and green spectrum. My cells just come to life, like I can feel them dancing, and then I take my aminos and my biomedic, and then yeah, I'll do my shakes later on in the day, and I'm living nomad life. Like this is literally amazing to have with you on the road. So for people that are like, well, what about traveling? I'm like, this is like I don't know how I was traveling without this. It's a real fast food. You can take it with you on a plane, a train, a car. You just can't travel. You can't take the little portable blender on the plane because it has a blade. But other than that, like bring this stuff with
Just
you.
shake
It's a
it.
game
Yeah.
changer. Yeah,
Mhm.
shake it up. It eliminates the need to have to eat crappy food at the airport, fast food. Like that's like such an old paradigm in my world that never really was, but yeah, and it's the ultimate lifestyle transformation is $12 a day, and it covers two of your meals. So it's like, where in the world can you even get one meal for
Regeneratively
12?
grown. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's cellular nourishment, and then you save money on groceries. You save so much because your body is full, it's happy, it's satisfied, and you realize like I don't need to be putting as much food into my body. The whole 3 meals a day is crazy. Let's give our bodies a break to really like be able to digest and like or use our energy that we were using for digestion to actually heal our bodies. So to give the digestion a break and then to use our body for self-healing. So
Exactly.
that's kind of the idea is we don't need to be constantly digesting food all the time, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Giving your body that rest in between, but certainly not depleting it by any means. Like, and that's another thing I love about the ultimate lifestyle transformation is it's not a diet. It's not like restricting us from having anything. It's how much nutrients can I actually get in my body? How hydrated can I get? Um, Yeah, so that's like a really big part because a lot of people have, including myself, I'm like, what, depleting myself, especially as a breastfeeding mom? Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But
And what are the
yeah,
main protocols you'd recommend for a breastfeeding mom?
I mean, the ULT being just a
Yeah.
baseline for everything, really. I mean, you're going to get your sleep, and the baby's going to get that nutrient or the natural melatonin through your breast milk. Both of my babies were solid sleepers,
Mm,
and I definitely give it to that. I give so much credit to the apothecary that they're consuming through my breast milk. Not to mention that I still continue the biomedic when I'm breastfeeding and pregnant too. I just decrease um, the quantity to half,
okay.
and then that way they're going to come out clean because research is showing more and more babies are showing glyphosate in their umbilical cords and in the placenta, and so that way they're going to get just kind of a head start to
Yeah.
life. Yeah, and then that's going to help just like hormone production as well to get them sleeping and regulated and calm nervous systems. That's always my goal for my, especially newborns, is to have that calm nervous system. Um,
Do you do
yeah, so
are you into the barley grass for I know that's really
oh
supportive for
yeah,
milk production? Yeah.
yes, yes, especially when it's running low. Yeah, I just amp up the barley grass. Barley grass is also really amazing for pregnancy when you're sick. The
Mm,
nausea.
okay.
It really helps that. It's not the best tasting, of course, but just put it in with your power shake because the power shake's so yummy and shake it up and you get that barley grass. Um, but yeah, that one is the main one
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, any other like protocols like specifically for pregnancy that I'm not really thinking of or that was really helpful for you? Yeah, I like that tip when you're feeling sick. Like any other like pro tips for breastfeeding mamas or pregnancy, like
Yeah.
through that process?
Yeah. Pregnancy, it goes kind of like step by step with trimester. Like the first one, you got that nausea, you got like exhaustion. So the aminos are going to help with that energy. Um, Doubling up on the aminos, especially during that first trimester, is going to be crucial because not only is your body going through a lot, but you're building a body as well. So that
Right.
baby's going to get the clean um, aminos in their body too to start building all of their systems. Second trimester, you might start experiencing like cramps in your legs, restless leg syndrome, and that's when the ionic elements come into hand. Those are super powerful to not only help us digest nutrients, but also relieve some of those cramps. What else in second? Second's pretty like, you're floating, you're feeling pretty good. You just want to keep the nutrients flowing. And then the third trimester, things are heavy. You want to get some sleep. So getting that apothecary, especially. Um, but yeah, it really, again, it just comes to health goals of what the woman is experiencing. And I like guarantee that we have something
Yeah.
that would support that. Yeah.
We
Mhm.
have it all. I love that we have so many resources for moms. It's amazing. Like all the heavy lifting is done. You don't need to be an expert. Like that's all. I mean, everything is formulated by one of the greatest naturopathic experts of our time, and like there's a whole community of moms that have gone through it, that have done it, and that are here like supporting other moms and children. And so we have
All
yeah,
the
I have like a whole
resources.
thing, so many of like literally all of a breakdown of first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, and beyond. So, yeah, I'm really excited to support more moms and have more conversations and, because it lights me up the most because the children, my heart goes out to what the children are up against in our modern society, and it just breaks my heart to see yeah to see the suffering and it starts with the mom and
Yeah,
the caregivers, they're the ones making the choices for their kids, so if they can be educated and they can be empowered, then that's going to be
exactly.
where we see the biggest
And
changes.
this company has just given me the platform to do just that. Like everything I can in my being to help the children, and help moms coming through too, not to get depleted
Right.
and go into that postpartum depression and everything. So I'm just so grateful for this heart-centered, super ethical company that we've partnered with, to give us this place to voice and to learn. I didn't know a lot of this when I
Yeah.
joined, and it's just educated me so much, and I'm so grateful for that. So, and thank you for having me on today. I
Yeah.
love
Thank you
speaking to
so
all of
much.
this, and
I know. And
yeah,
somebody asked about the link. So whoever you found this video through, whether it was me or Anna, then just hit us up, send us a message, and we can get you going. And I'm
yeah,
sure happy to like provide support on a personal level as well, get to know your health goals and what you're looking for. And yeah, like that's the thing. People in this company are like, there's so much love and care and like really wanting to meet people's needs and make sure that they get the best possible support that they can get. Like it's beyond just like here's some superfoods, like go on with your life. Like this is all hands on deck. Like what do you need? I'm here for you. And
it's a
like
community for
yeah,
sure,
exactly. So
nationwide,
it's
somewhat
amazing.
worldwide too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Amazing. Well, thank
Thank
you
you,
so much for
Beth.
sharing your story.
Yeah,
And yeah, grateful to be on this team together. And
likewise.
yeah,
Here
keep
come the
on doing your
kiddos.
thing, girl. And whatever ways we can collaborate and share and all that goodness, just getting the message out is what we're here for. So
Yeah, keep on shining,
yeah,
Brooke.
you too.
So
Enjoy
nice
the
to hear it.
snow.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.